Hello and welcome to Gar1onriva's Top 5. Today's Top 5 is going to be a little bit different because I have a guest. So, welcome to Charlie.
Hey.
And we will be discussing our Top 5 Warhammer 40K armies. Warhammer 40K is the sci-fi game that Games Workshop make, and is the sci-fi equivalent of Warhammer Fantasy, which I've been talking about a bit recently. So this is going to be run a little bit differently because there are the two of us. So we are going to alternate giving our options for the top 5. So this episode will be doing 5 through 3, and then next episode we'll be doing numbers 2 and 1. Two things to remember. First of all, these are our personal opinions, so please don't tell us we're wrong. And also, these are based on what we have personally experienced of the armies. Kicking it off with Charlie's number 5.
Space Marines. It's a classic choice. Obviously, it's the typical army to start off with. I love how much they've been expanded in recent years, and to be honest, although I don't so much agree with their tactics and things like that, like obviously they have the big book of all godly things written by Robert Gilliman or whatever his name was. I don't so much agree with those, but I do agree with, I enjoy how they're made from being normal humans into superhumans in all the fluff that they have. They have a massive amount of fluff. And at the end of the day, the fluff is what draws you into Warhammer more and more. Every time you play, you read more and more about the things. I can sit at my computer and read about the Space Marines forever. Some armies don't have as much, but the Space Marines just have so much stuff you can go into. All the different chapters, all the sub-chapters, there's loads of things to choose from. I also enjoy the older variants they've got. Obviously, they've got the Crusade armor and things like that coming out. They look pretty cool, and personally, I would love to do an army full of just Space Marines and their power armor that's pre-Crusade and things like that, but obviously it's not so great with the way their rules are going with Workshop at the moment, but up and down with both of those.
I sort of like the Space Marines. They were one of the ones that originally drew me to 40k, but I don't know, just the basic Space Marines I find dull and overused, particularly the Ultramarines. They just bore the hell out of me. Geran's number 5. The Tau Empire. Although I've never collected the Tau, I just really like them. Like, the aesthetic is just beautiful. The battle suits and the drones and the slick, smooth armor. But the thing I like most of all about them is the whole for the greater good. They aren't, trying to push their religion on the universe. They're not trying to despoil the world. They're not even just trying to claim what they believe is theirs. They are trying to do what they think is right for the galaxy. And in a way that makes them one of the few armies that is actually sort of a good guy. They're not just big space dicks.
Yeah, space dicks. One thing is that you don't read about the Tau Empire is the fact that when they encounter a new species, they give us an option of join us or die. So there's something that you don't hear about as much, and they say a lot that we've joined this species into our empire. We've got the crew, we've got the Vespids for the ones that Games Workshop have used directly. But other species like the Orcs told them to naff off and just began a huge war across the entire galaxy that the Tau Empire regret.
And the only time I've ever really considered collecting a Tau army is I had this great idea of a sort of crossover, funnily enough, a crossover between your choice and my choice. I wanted to do a sort of treaty army between Space Marines and Tau, where I'd convert them so the Tau were using Space Marine technology, Space Marines were using Tau. Obviously it wouldn't be like legal to use in a battle, but I just thought it would look pretty cool. Charlie's number 4.
Tyranids.
Really?
They are the extragalactical threat that is just coming to basically eat everything, and they're gonna kill anything that's in their way. And I can see one day just a huge clash between, first of all, the Necrons, which are underground and buried, and the Tyranids, which are huge. They're never going to go away because they have immeasurable resources and that sort of thing. It's going to be one big clash in the heavens between the Tyranids and the Necrons, and whoever wins is going to control the galaxy, or whatever's left of it. So that'll be the problem. I also enjoy the aesthetic of the Tyranids. Whereas most armies are very humanoid, the Tyranids aren't. They are really very alien, and it just fits the way they are because they haven't got any mentality of conquering. They just want to eat. It's just a very basic instinct. and it really drives through in their models that they've got lots of teeth, they're designed to their job.
Geran's number 4. Chaos Demons.
Saw that one
I
coming.
bet you expected this one. Yeah, I bet you expected this one to be a bit higher up.
Yeah.
Because I was really into these when they came out. I never planned on collecting Demons or Chaos Space Marines until I went to uni. But just reading the codexes and seeing the models, it's like, I've got to collect these now. And I collected a sort of legal force of Chaos Demons. And they were the main one I used at my local club, my school club. The reason they're so low down is that I just didn't stick with them. You know, I collected a few. I got like the Soul Grinder, who's the model for that is just beautiful.
Yeah.
But beyond that, they're just too unwieldy, and the rules proved too angled against demon players.
Right.
I don't know if that has changed in more recent versions. I don't have the latest codex of that, but that's why they're this low down on the list, that they couldn't keep my interest long enough.
Yeah.
Charlie's number 3.
Orcs. I don't like the Orcs as much as who they are. I like the Orcs for being the constant threat of the galaxy, much like the Tyrians, except they've always been there. If I ever read a book, for a lot of Imperial Guard books, always focus on the Orcs as the enemy. They're a big, brutey force, and they don't have much intelligence, so it makes an easy force that you can either outwit very easily, or they are crushing you because of weight of numbers, and you're fighting back a losing battle that makes your soldiers again look like heroes. So they're very good for being
the story villain.
Yes, they are just a villain in every book that you ever read. Well, not every book, but most books that you read. And I know Geran would probably disagree with this because it's not really his thing, but I do enjoy how ramshackle their armies are. It offers a lot of. I know it offers a lot of. It offers a lot of opportunity for you to expand your own models. You can just stick random stuff on everywhere, and it makes the models look very different to how they usually are.
One thing I will say about the Orc aesthetic is, yeah, what you're saying, how you can just take random shit and bolt it together. Some of the best looking Orc tanks I've ever seen were looted Lehman Russes. They'd taken like Lehman Russes and Chimeras and stuff, and they'd made them look orky, and they did look like pretty damn good Orc tanks.
Yeah,
but beyond that, I hate their aesthetic.
You can almost take any vehicle not any unit, but any vehicle in the Warhammer universe and just stick loads of crap on it, and it'll become an Orc vehicle. And it allows a lot of opportunity for model making and all sorts of things that you can use.
Geran's number 3. Necrons. I bet you thought that one would get number 1, didn't you?
I really did.
I have been collecting Necrons for a very long time. They're one of the only armies I have that has never changed the colour scheme. I have bright green Necrons. Look at these Necrons. Aren't they beautiful? I remember I went into the local Games Workshop place, and I was talking to them about what I collected, and it's like, oh yeah, I've got bright green Necrons. They're like, what? Like, Necrons that are green? It's like, what, like bright green? It's like, yeah. And I love my Necrons, but I sort of went off them. They revamped the lore quite a bit when they did the first codex in like 8 years for them or something like that. And although I've not read the latest codex, the changes they made were both good and bad. You know, they gave them a lot more personality, but they also gave them such annoying character flaws, which, while were needed to make them more sort of real, it just took away part of what I liked about them. These nameless, faceless creatures that were doing the bidding of gods, and turned them into a bunch of arrogant bastards who are in it for personal gain for the most part.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that change. And like I said, it did add a lot of personality to them. My Necrons had no personality, and now they have a genuine sort of motivation and backstory and all of this, and that really adds to them. But yeah, they're just not as good as the two I have left.
Now I can see where you're coming from on that.
And that is all for part 1. Be sure to come back for part 2, where we'll be discussing our number 2 and number 1 places in our top 5 40k armies. Thank you very much for watching. Please consider pledging to my Patreon, linked in the description, to get these a day early. And we will catch you later.
Bye.